Hi, it's John Paulas. You're listening to Life's Potluck Buffet. Thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate you listening. Today's card is card 29. Something you thought was beyond you is actually within your capabilities. This is a powerful one. Once we realize that our wildest dreams are hardly the stuff other people's dreams are made of, we can start to accept that they are not fantasies, but accurate predictions of our futures. Take the first step right now by identifying something you think is totally beyond your reach. What is it? Now, plan the next step to achieving it. My example of this is a very recent one. For years and years and years, ever since I was a young person, I've never really been able to run. I mean, I can run, but not for long. When I was a kid, when I would play soccer, I would be like a goalie because not that much running is involved. I can think of one particular moment where I was supposed to run a mile and didn't work out. And so I've had this kind of block over the years that said, don't bother trying to run. It's not going to work, And so I haven't. Now, recently, in order to get a little bit more cardio exercise than I currently get, I decided that the best thing to do would be to try to jog. And so I spoke with a runner and got a sense of what the proper technique would be for me to use. And then I did what card 29 says. I planned the next step to achieve it. And I was advised to try running for 10 minutes. And this was a couple of weeks ago. And so I did. And I used that technique and I focused on that technique. And I was told as soon as your legs start hurting or there's some sort of, you're feeling anything like this isn't right or things that I need to stop. You stop, you just walk. So I did that. And so I ran from my house 10 minutes out in my neighborhood and early in the morning. It's very nice. And believe me, every second of that 10 minutes, I was pulling up my phone and looking at, okay, is it time yet? Okay. And boy, I didn't know how quickly I could get to some places. A place that usually is near a subway stop that takes, about 5 or 6 minutes to walk, maybe 5 minutes, let's say. I was there in 2 minutes. So that was a little bit of the first hurdle because I was like, okay, I still got another 8 minutes. And I decided that I would try to look less at the phone so that it didn't take so long. And so I did. Yeah, I still looked too much. But nonetheless, that first time, when I got a few minutes in, my left knee started to bother me a little bit. I was like really being aware of of where I was striking my foot, my stride, and the sidewalk ahead of me because I also didn't want to injure myself by face planting and or twisting my ankle on the sidewalk. So I was very aware of all of that. And so I was keeping really conscious of this. And I've been doing this ever since. And so I really got to focus on this so I don't do anything that's going to cause me to injure myself. So what happened was I ran about 8 minutes and this left knee started to bother me a little bit. And then I walked for a little bit and then I decided to turn around and come back by a different street and that I would try to run for another 2 minutes just so that it was a total of 10 minutes. So I did. And then it was okay. And so I had 10 minutes and I walked back home. Something funny happened this past Sunday is that I decided that I would just not think about the time, focus on my stride, where my foot was striking, focus on having the right posture, and just being in the right, just really focus on what my body was doing and also focus on how it was feeling. And this was it. This was where I thought something was beyond my capabilities. I mean, for me to run a mile is unlikely. I mean, if you told me before this Sunday, you'd be able to run a mile this Sunday, I would have said, no, that's not possible. But because I started with a plan to achieve good form, non-injurious form, and to focus on the goal ahead, I surprised myself. I ran for a mile. And I didn't actually have to stop at all. I was feeling good the whole way, and it worked. So I was super proud of that. As soon as I drew card 29 today, I was like, okay, that's the thing. I mean, that's the story, because I really thought running a mile was beyond my capabilities, but it wasn't. And fast forward to a couple days ago, I was doing this thing where I was going to run for 18 minutes. And somewhere along the line, hadn't quite gotten there, my calf cramped up. Now, it's been very hot where I live, but it was early in the morning. So it wasn't that. The temperature was still okay. It wasn't, it might have been in the mid 70s or something like that. But clearly the days of heat before had kind of taken their toll on my overall hydration and electrolyte levels. And so I got a cramp. But as soon as I cramped up, I stopped. Everyone would be glad to know that. I want to put that out there. Don't worry. I stopped and walked back home. I got some electrolytes going, pickle juice. That's my favorite way to do electrolytes. I had a sports drink. Since I don't have any sports drink sponsors, I'll just say a sports drink. If you are a sports drink company and you want to sponsor this podcast, I guess get in touch with me. That would be hilarious. And also something that I would think was beyond me. So that would be cool if that happened. Oh, also, if you are a company that makes a casserole or a Dutch oven and you're looking for a podcast to sponsor, please get in touch. And also let me know what you call a casserole or Dutch oven. So if you let me know what your company calls it, I would be really interested to know. Thank you. But anyway, I like to get potassium. I like bananas. I try to do it. I throw everything at it. Whenever I feel like I'm having some sort of dehydration issue, I start to really throw everything at the problem. And it takes a little while. And today, my calf is feeling better, so I think I managed to hydrate myself appropriately, so I'll keep that up. So what do you think is beyond your capabilities? Pick something, anything, a goal you want to achieve. Something, the crazier the better. The crazier the better. Something like my running a mile. Something that for your whole life you thought, oh, I can't do that. It's just not going to work, Something that you really think is beyond your capabilities, but that you may just be holding yourself back. So think of something that you really think is beyond your capabilities, as I said. And if you'd like, please share it in the comments or let me know. And now plan the next step to achieving it. You're going to do it. I know it. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like, subscribe, and head over to lifespotluck.com to check out the Life's Potluck Buffet card deck and all of the resources there. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Let's go.